What skill do I think everyone should master to become more productive? I would say, I'll cheat here, I'm going to give two, but one is very concrete. Morning meditation for 10 to 20 minutes. You can do this any number of ways. I ended up only adhering to the habit of meditation after quitting many, many times over the years, following a transcendental meditation course. And there are a lot of issues I have with transcendental meditation, at least how it's set up, the costs involved, it's cheaper than it was then, and so on. But it is very secular once you get past the first day or so, and you have the social pressure or accountability of working with an instructor on a daily basis for 4 days. And so if you're going to meet with them and they want to talk about the 2 sessions that you did when you weren't together, you are going to feel like an ass if you don't have something to report. And this is a very beneficial type of pressure. And that is what got me initially to stick to the daily practice long enough to make it a continual habit. There are other tools you could use, for instance, like the app Headspace, which I have used, which many other people have used, millions at this point. And they have a 10 in 10, I think it is, which is 10 minutes a day for 10 days. And you listen to guided meditation, which quite frankly is easier than going directly to something like TM, which is mantra-based, or any type of, I think, awareness meditation without the so-called, let's call it a distraction or tool of a guided voice in recorded audio. It's actually a very, very helpful set of training wheels in the very beginning stages, or you can continue to use it. I know someone, for instance, and I'm going to butcher her last name because I always do, and I'm going to embarrass myself here again. Maria Popova. Damn it, Maria, I'm sorry. It's performance anxiety with your name. I always do this. Who runs Brain Pickings, which started off as an email to, I think, 5 of her friends and ended up, now it has 7 million plus readers per month. She listens to the same guided meditation from Tara Brach every morning and has for years. I think it's smiling meditation or something along those lines. So it doesn't have to be a just in the beginning thing. So the meditation, I think, if I look at, for instance, all the world-class performers that I've interviewed, 80+% have some type of mindfulness or meditative practice, whether that is sitting down, palms in lap, and meditating, or running for 10, 20, 30 miles and listening to the same song. These are all forms of mindfulness training. And it's a prerequisite foundational skill, I think, for operating at a very, very high level. And there are certainly people who haven't done that deliberately and have achieved great success, but I would encourage everyone who's listening to realize that being successful objectively compared to other people and feeling successful are 2 very different things. And ideally, you want to have both of those. And it's not being egotistical or egocentric. I think it's being human. This type of mindfulness practice helps with not just the achievement component, but the appreciation component. And I think that you are chasing after a fool's errand if you're just going after one or the other. You don't have to. It can be both and. The second foundational skill, and I'll try to keep this short, is getting better at asking questions. There are piss poor questions, there are okay questions, there are good questions, and then there are great questions. And I find that levels of success in almost any industry or area correlate to a person asking great questions. In some cases, they seem absurd. In fact, the hallmark, in a way, of great questions is that they sound completely ridiculous. So someone might ask, like Peter Thiel, why can't you achieve your 10-year goals in the next 6 months? As a thought exercise, that's a good question to answer for yourself. And these types of questions come up surprisingly often with very, very impressive folks, whether it's in business, military, entertainment, or otherwise. And the way you can get better at questions is by studying interviews in part. So I studied Larry King, I studied Charlie Rose, I studied Terry Gross, I studied go down the list. I studied Tony Robbins, who does in-person one-on-one interventions at his events in front of 10,000, 5,000 people. And he's just genius with how he uses questions to like pattern interrupt and grab someone's attention and divert them in a more productive direction. Now, why is that relevant? It's relevant because thinking is the process of asking questions. You're asking yourself questions and then you're answering them in your own head. So if you get better at asking other people questions, you get better at asking yourself questions, which means you're improving your thought performance and level of thinking. So those would be the prerequisite skills. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, I have some fantastic stuff coming, including collaborations. Just click here and you'll be the first to see it.